Sometimes it's hard to be a New Zealander because we're so damn awesome.
I feel like you can't do anything that's not remarkable in New Zealand.
I'm completely obsessed with New Zealand.
Well, I would love nothing more than a trip down to New Zealand.
Oh, stop it. But also, please continue.
I love New Zealand. I can't wait to get there.
New Zealand's always been a place that I've loved visiting. The fans have been so loyal. I just love the place.
Oh, we appreciate it, Alton, but today a global survey of expats delivers a giant slap in the face. New Zealand has been ranked the second worst destination for living and working abroad. Nearly 12,000 expats ranked 52 countries, finding Mexico friendly, Indonesia magical, and Taiwan happy and safe. But way down at the bottom of the list, and indeed the world, is New Zealand, where expats love our beautiful nature but hate how much everything costs, how hard it is to find a job, and this one really stings, our lack of culture and nightlife. The only place worse is Kuwait, where it's apparently hard to find friends. For a nation who loves others to love us, it's a big fall from grace. And if that's not bad enough, Australia comes in ninth. That hurts. Now, Chad Kukahiko from the group American Expats in New Zealand is here. Chad, what are some of the complaints you hear in your expat group?
Believe it or not, probably the biggest consistent complaint is lack of access to really good Mexican food.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, people in Wellington and Auckland, obviously, it's a little bit easier for them. But those of us who live outside the major cosmopolitan areas, it's very, very difficult to get really good Mexican food. And you do hear a lot of American expats having difficulties making really good friends. And that's really important to a lot of expats. So it's just a little difficult for some of them to do that. Housing. I forgot about housing. That's also a big issue with a lot, especially with newer people. The housing prices having skyrocketed so much. It's just a little bit difficult for us newer people who've only recently got our residencies to be able to afford the housing here.
Chad, you strike me as a guy, much like me, who likes to hit the club, love to go and hit the club. One of the things they said in the survey was that there's a lack of nightlife in New Zealand. Would you say that's accurate? Do you think we're not as exciting as we could be?
You know, I'm a parent, I'm a new parent, so nightlife is not something I really care too much about, but from my limited experience, I just don't think it's really fair, you know, especially people coming from, let's say, New York City, right? Yeah. Population of New York City is double the entire population of New Zealand. Again, not a fair comparison.
Well, hopefully you're going to give me the truth now, because we are thirsty for compliments and we just need it. We are hanging out to hear some good things about New Zealand. I'd love to hear why you chose to come here in the first place, and then just say like a whole bunch of really good things about New Zealand.
Well, that is easy for me. I'm definitely very happy to be here. We just had our first baby just turned 1. And the fact that we left the maternity ward without getting a ginormous bill was a plus, a really big plus. Not the kind of thing that happens in the United States much. And the thought of sending him off to college and, you know, it not putting us in the poorhouse, that's another thing that's really good. And I mean, just the views are insane. They're, you know, nobody can, you know, I'm not a good photographer, but when I put stuff on Instagram, all my friends back in the States go crazy because it's just gorgeous here, you know. But it's not perfect. I'm not going to say it is. We have our problems here too, but you know, it's not 51st out of 52. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we can cut out that part where he says it's not perfect, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad Kukahiko, thank you so much. We love that you love us.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Welcome to the project where Paulie Go is here. It's your Friday night. I'm here, Jackie, Amanda, Josh. All right.
Kia ora, kia ora. We've got on this panel tonight, we've got 2 locals, we've got 2 expats.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, when I looked at the survey, the expats said they really struggled in New Zealand because they were working too hard, not getting paid enough, and the cost of living is simply too high. As expats, and beautiful expats is that, Jackie, what's your experience like being in New Zealand?
So I moved to New Zealand when I was 15 years old, and I remember being told, you know, it's a wonderful place. And I went down Queen Street as a teenager thinking, wow, shops everything was closed. And I was like, what is going on?
Why would you try to be shopping after 5 o'clock? It's the end of the day.
Fair point. Got to try on leggings. Anyway, the point was, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have quiet time, but also, you know, I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a similar experience. I moved here when I was 3 months old, and I remember, like you, I remember crawling down Queen Street and all the shops were shut. Because my folks came here in the 50s, right? 1958, they came here, my mum and dad. They didn't have me at that point, but they moved here for 4 years until like 1962, loved it, but then moved back to the UK because they were homesick. Had me in the UK and went, this isn't any place to raise a child. So they moved back to New Zealand again and paid full fare. Because when they came the first time, it was like £10 to get here on a boat. So they came here twice and paid full fare the second time.
Clearly
Great with
English
money.
and
Yeah.
not Scottish.
Best thing I ever did was move to New Zealand, I must say that now.